Welcome everyone to yet another stream for Cryptopocalypse. Now, this is your host Crypto Ranger. Today we're going to be talking about momentum. Now, this is a casual stream. This is not an educational stream. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe we might have some. This is definitely not a market analysis stream. Just so you know, we will talk about momentum. And I will try to answer a couple of questions while I have the time to do so. I've seen some concerns being expressed in regards to the indicator and a couple of other tidbits as well. So first of all, the title of this video is Scalpers, Day Traders, Swing Traders, Momentum Traders, Position Traders, blah, blah, blah. Labels. Let's talk about those labels and how it applies to MSX and what it has to do with momentum. Now, I'm looking here on Discord and I'll try to run through a couple of key points that I'd like to address specifically for people who might be catching up to the stream later on. But let me just go forward and say that, okay, let's ask you for a friend, blah blah blah. Also, who do we have here? Let's go to MSX. MarketSpy talk. Okay, Nick S asks a question here. He says, correct me if I'm wrong, but since MSX is created to essentially trade based on momentum shifts, correct, in this sideways action we've been in with no volume and no real momentum. Keywords here: no volume, no real momentum. Signals on Armageddon or MSX won't play out as they normally would. That is correct. So if anybody's trying to trade based on the signals from MSX or Armageddon, they probably won't be playing out as they normally would. The strength and the extent of how far the price will walk will be different in non-trending markets. That is also correct. So this statement by Nick S is absolutely on point, and I would like to say that MSX and there's a little catch here. So for example, if we are looking to, we need to gauge momentum. We need to gauge momentum at all times. And the best way to do that is to go to lower time frames. Obviously, if you're looking to trade with a particular setup, hopefully by this time you have established a sort of a system by which you exit and enter the market. So it's not just you know, like a random spin the roulette kind of thing. First of all, identifying your type of personality and trading is very important. So from the looks of it, we have a lot of scalpers in our Discord. I would get the impression that people love to scalp from what I was able to observe, and that is fine. What scalpers need to understand, this is School of Pipology, baby pips. If you guys have not been to the site before, I recommend you register for it and complete the School of Pipsology. They have this extensive free sort of like interactive class that you go through, and you learn a lot about the terminology and you know, all sorts of rules in trading and stuff like that. Very general, and most of it will be garbage. And you will, as soon as you're done learning this, you will need to forget all of it, because this will just boost your literacy in terms of reading markets and trading, but it will not teach you anything useful in particular. But it's highly recommended that you go through these just so that you can get acquainted or better understand the markets you're dealing with. Now, each and every security market is different. In times like these, for example, to answer Nick's question, if we don't have a trend, so first of all, there's this phenomena, or rather problem, that people face all the time in trading, and that is zoning out. Zoning out is when people open a chart like this They analyze it to the best of their ability. They look at the signals using MSX or what have they, Cipher or whatever, other indicators, volume. They look at it and they say, okay, I have determined that this top of the Bollinger Band will be my short position. So I'll place my limit order here because I think once we're ranging, we should assume, an intelligent trader would tell you, we should assume that we will be ranging for a while until it is no longer the case. So we cannot be expecting, see, the reason why most people get chopped up in this range, there's a high chance that price will walk up and down, and while people take positions on either side, bulls and bears, for a decisive move, everyone is trying to catch that move. My style of trading requires me to only capture a part of the move, and I'm happy with that, not at the beginning or the end of it, because timing it, the markets will punish you. This is almost impossible. There's no crystal ball to do so. So you just don't know. You have a chance of probability, a higher chance of probability. Now, looking at this 1 hour chart, for example, MSX is broken. Nick is correct in saying that if you attempt to trade this zone, and there's a reason it's called a no trade zone, is because you are going to get chopped up. You enter and then the next candle, it wipes you out of your position. You get stopped out. So you can keep gambling like this all you want, and no indicator or nothing is going to save you here in this zone unless you're very aggressive, experienced, and you just have a lot of capital to work with in order to trade these single candles, literally like single candles. This is hourly. I don't even know what is going on. I mean, let's switch over to normal candles. I mean, like this stuff, like these are not even candles, and these are 5 minutes long, each one of these. You know, super unpredictable, and you just don't know what is going to happen. So in terms of Nick's statement that momentum, gauging momentum, RSI is a momentum indicator, of course, and many people use that successfully to determine the security's top and bottom, oversold conditions and overbought conditions. Now, the thing that you have to know about RSI and any momentum based indicators, which is for the most part all of them are momentum based indicators, because they react to the price action, or they lead the action. And when RSI is in the middle, for example, over here we have clearly labeled zones, like this dotted line over here at 50. Between this dotted line, when the price is sort of like ranging here in the 50, that's how you know it's a chop zone. Trading chop zones is very dangerous, and more often than not you will ultimately lose more than gain while you're in this chop zone. So what do we do about it? Well, people, man, you just stay out. You stay out, especially if you're a beginner. You stay out. And I have had a few people direct message me and say, oh, you know, like there's a signal and then it goes a little, isn't it supposed to like go up? That's not how it works, people. You see no volume, you see no buyers, price cannot go up. An indicator will see a sign of weakness and tell you, okay, this could be the end of the show. That's it. All right, we're losing some power, no buyers coming in. And in the chop market or sideways market, all indicators will give you a lot of false positives, or the signals. In this case, in our case, there aren't any false positives. They're just like weak. They're weak signals, inconsistent signals. So that is something to keep in mind. Gauging your momentum using any one of these indicators, whether it's you know, RSI or our momentum indicator or the Armageddon at top that reads all these, it doesn't know if we're at the end of the trend or the beginning of the trend, because that would require having a crystal ball. All you have is the directional understanding, a visual guidance to where we are inclined to go. how far are we away from the last apex point, the degree of the trend. That's all we have to work with in these chop zones. And this is why I say sometimes you just have to wait weeks and not take any trades. Or if you have a lot of money to play with and you're good with entries based not on market buys but limit orders, you can risk away and play it that way. So if you absolutely must, as a scalper, who according to the school of pipsology here and every other trader I know, scalpers hold on for a few seconds to a few minutes at the most. I scalp, I'm a little bit more conservative, and if I go for a scalp just because I see a little something that might happen in the whale platoon, for example, I knew there were going to be a few pumps and dumps, little moves up and down, and we had those, and very small gains using Bybit tools. I was able to accumulate a position size of 8,000 contracts, 10,000, because you know, I stick with my risk management, and 3% is very hard to accumulate at the top or at the bottom. So you know, you end up with a little bit of winning trades, but they're tiny. They're tiny, and if you're using market buy, market sell, then you're definitely losing money, because you need at least 15 to 20% to break even when you're market buying. So you can't just click the market buy button and bazam, few candles later you're in profit. Bybit is tricky. It's a great exchange, but like all of those exchanges, they're all 100% oriented to benefit themselves. And so even though their fees and structure is transparent, what they don't show you is that when you see that P&L, it does not include, like Bitunix, for example, it calculates your fees. It calculates and it shows you your P&L, profit and loss, including the fees that you just paid market buying, or the fees that you earned by market making by using limit orders. And so you can kind of see those. Bybit doesn't have that, and after you sell, you're like, yeah, I'm $50, $100 in profit. And when you go to your page, details page, I think that there's like this place where you can look at all your trades, and it will show you that the fees were not included, and you see them separately, and they show up a day later. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And scalping right now is just not possible. No, don't use that. It is possible. It is possible. It is just that there's a high probability that your time is just not worth it. Would you work like a minimum wage job for? Well, I would. And anyway, like if you absolutely have to, yes, you have to if it's life and death situation. But if you had a better choice, and that better choice is maybe swing trading or day trading. Now, scalpers overhold their positions a lot of times because a few minutes to a few seconds, they're not satisfied with the results. They know they cannot break even. They know they cannot make money because they just market bought in FOMO in a little candle up, and they're like, oh, there it is, I feel it, it's going up. You market buy into it. I've been there. I know what it's like. You guys can lie to all people around you, but you can't lie to yourselves. And this is true. Scalping is super tough in non-trending markets, sideways markets. Your only choice is to wait for a clear break, trend reversal, or an support resistance flip. That's the only way. So the main objective for a scalper is to grab very small amounts of pips or dollar amounts in case of Bitcoin as many times as they can throughout the busiest times of the day. Not just randomly, but throughout the busiest times of the day. Since crypto is 24/7 and it is highly manipulative and you're trading with leverage, you're playing with fire. You don't know what the busiest time of the day is. You go to sleep and that's when the busiest time of the day starts here in Asia. The Asians go to sleep, we wake up, and it's like, it's over for them. So it's back and forth like this. So we don't know when the busiest times of the day are. We only have maybe CME futures when they're trading. We can keep our eye on that and sort of like understand that, okay, those probably are the times when these people are trading. But those are you know, futures are contracts, and they usually, like, once they're locked, they stay in there. It's not active day trading, so I wouldn't bet on that. Day traders usually pick side at the beginning of the day. So here you are, and you're literally picking a side. You're saying, I'm going to short, and the bulls are saying, I'm going to long. And this creates liquidity, a liquidity pool where the stop losses are, because longers, they will say my stop loss is here. Shorters will say, they will look at the highest points right about here, next support, and they say my stop loss is here. So they've just created liquidity pools. Price will will go both ways, like it happened over here, down and up, and it will wipe out both of those positions, and then it will continue on its way wherever it wants to go. So that reaction is what's going to cause the swing, the jump, and then people jump on that trade, adding more fire, more oil to the fire, and we take off. So day traders, these kind of trades do not hold their trades overnight. As a matter of fact, in crypto, for me, day trading is scalping because of the low liquidity markets. To answer Nick's question, a trader has to be dynamic. Okay, if a boss at work tells you, like, let's say you need an extra day. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. You need an extra day because something is coming up, and you need that extra cash, and you're telling your boss, look, give me this one more shift. All right, let me cover this one more day because I really need the money right now. But he's telling you there's no work. There's no work. There's nothing to do. I can't give you that day. We maxed out. This is the best. This is as good as it gets. So this ranging side, this flat sideways market is telling you, look, there are no good trading opportunities, no profitable setups. You know, just that's what it is. You know, do whatever you want with it. And yet we're forcing it. We're forcing it because we're saying, yeah, but there will be, like, suddenly something will change. The market will stop ranging and will break out. This could last for months. It's all speculation. So treat this as your job, and the price is your daddy. It's your boss. It's telling you when you can earn and when you can't. And right now it's telling you, I don't have work for you. What are you doing watching me here? The office is closed. 50% of people will get wrecked. 50% of people get lucky. That's flipping a coin. Sure, we can do that. But day trading is scalping in my book, in crypto. And with MSX, people who are saying there are no signals, look, here's a signal, here's a signal. This is a scalp. From here to here, that's $130 on this dot. On the 5 minutes. Here's a signal right here. Okay, you enter, let's say something like this, $60. That's a scalp. That's 7 hours. You had to wait 7 hours to earn 0.6.5% before you saw some scary ass signals here again, and you had to exit. Here's another. Here's a GPS dot. The GPS dot was right smack at the bottom over here, and there's a reason I told you guys this GPS dot is a little different, and here it puts some bread on your table if you took this trade, the GPS, but you have to risk it. Now the best way to play these GPS signals, these momentum swings, and no matter who you are, whether you're a day trader, scalper, swing trader, you need momentum, because without momentum the price cannot move. So again, MSX to the rescue. You can trade with MSX. It's just that on 1 hour it's completely flat, and these momentum indications, let's see, I'll show exactly what I mean. First of all, we have none. So we're like, okay, how do we trade this? Because there are no indications of a momentum. I don't see any dots over here. Last time you saw it over here. That's a $300 move right there you had. No complaining. You don't see a dot? Go down to lower time frames. Let's go to 45. Let's go to 45 seconds, minutes, and see. Oh, there's a dot right here. There's a dot right here. Let's go to this dot. Right here. If you follow my strategy with 2080, you just buy it and you hold it and you place your stop loss just below your entry, just below, just a little bit, so you can lose $10 at most. If you lose $10 at most and it's still active and a node shows up, you re-enter again. You lose $10 again, another node, you re-enter on the node again. Yes, breathing is part of life. Losses is part of trading life. And if you re-entered by taking $10 loss, $10 loss, $10 loss, and finally on this third node, you had a $300, $200 move up and you took your profit and you more than made up for your losses. Do you see? If you don't see any momentum works out wonderfully on smaller time frames when there's nothing going on in bigger time frames. We're ranging. You're itching for those dots, you want to find them, go to lower time frames. Go to lower time frames. Each one of these dots for scalping. $37 move here. Maybe you held a little bit, I don't know, $52 move, 7 hours. How can you potentially be trading this, calling this a market of opportunities? And if you can't make these trades, or you're getting wrecked 24/7, and then a losing trader will always have something or someone to blame. They will say the signals are inconsistent. The support and resistance level was supposed to hold, it didn't do its job. We were supposed to touch the upper band and retrace right away, but we didn't. That's a losing trader. They always have the luxury of falling back on something and blaming anything but the lack of their own due diligence, carefulness, planning, and anything to do with themselves. It's never their fault. It's always something else. So please do not be that guy. You have all the tools in the world built right into MSX and Armageddon to show you that there is still an opportunity here. You may take, let's go to lower time frames. Like 5 minutes, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. While people are speculating, I'm analyzing charts. Other analysts are looking to think, are we going up or we're trying to determine longer term plays. In the meantime, on these signals, what you can do is two things. Let's say you're scalping and you saw this dot. Enter with a small position, man. I don't know, 5, 10, okay, what about 1,000 contracts, let's say, 1,000 contracts. Another dot, enter another 1,000, 2,000 contracts. And here, another 5,000 contracts. Average it down, you know, on every dot. Don't just go all in. Do not go all in. Do not go all in. Average it down. And when the price goes up, take profit. This dot over here, all traders of all styles need momentum. Because without momentum, price is just range bound. And if you're not sure, if you think that you're not seeing anything, the indicator will not see it either. It will just trip all wires loose and spit out signals, which in this case are pretty damn accurate considering that we're in this no trade zone chop market where people are getting smashed from both sides, left and right, up and down. We're still having a lot of profitable signals here. You just have to have the balls and not exit your position once you see the I'll tell you what most traders' problem is. They see a signal new tool, hard to trust, understandable. Manage your money well. Don't take the trade if you don't have to. Better yet, practice or trade with a small position size, 100 contracts. You enter, price goes against you and you're insta minus, and that's it. And you're invalidated. You're like, I'm out. This is a false signal. And then it continues and you're like, damn, I wish I held. And then you FOMO in over here. You're like, I guess this was right, so I'll just short it. And by the time you made up your damn mind, you know, we're going up here again. So, as you can see, this works. I would like this little message to be something that Nick can take a look at and say, yes, okay. So it does work. It's just that if I'm looking for any sort of momentum, they happen on lower time frames. If there's nothing going on higher time frames, adaptability, flexibility is one of the greatest tools that you can have as a trader. Now look, if it looks like it's dumping, you have these signals, then you probably should be shorting. And like this is all bleeding over here below the baseline, even on the smaller time frame. And RSI can stay at the bottom and be oversold for a long time. It could be it's right at the bottom. But it's better to take these signals when RSI is at the top, like in this case over here. We don't know if this is going to change or anything like that. So first things first, identify what kind of trader you are. Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Swing traders. Now, my recommendation for beginners especially, and I always consider myself a beginner's mind has a lot of space to learn, adapt, and realize that you can make mistakes and you will make mistakes, and that's just breathing. That's part of the air in the markets, you know. Swing trading are for those people that like to hold on to trades for several days at a time. Now, I've had people message me and say, I have kids, I can't trade all the time, I only have 2 hours on the weekend. Well, the hell you're looking for like, why are you staring at 5 minutes and 15-minute charts? You know, you should be there in the platoon looking at those charts that I dropped that are like 1 week, 1 month in length. Actual trades. Swing traders, they cannot monitor their charts throughout the day, so they dedicate a couple of hours analyzing the market every night to make sound trading decisions. Position traders are your hodlers. These traders know that fundamentals themes will be the predominant factor when analyzing the markets and therefore making their trading decisions based on them. So these guys are like the fundamental people who are long-term hodl. They buy on every dip, whatever, right? We're interested in derivatives markets, fast-moving markets. Swing trading is where it's at for beginners. A longer-term trading style. Ideal for those who cannot monitor charts throughout the day. Now, can you be up and running all day long on our Discord or elsewhere and monitor the charts? Well, if you have that luxury, like most professional traders I know, they open their laptop once a day. They use their favorite tool. If they're lucky, they use MSX. They take a look at everything that they can, and then they make a decision. They say, I will trade here. Or they will say, it's a non-trending market. What am I doing here? I'll come back in a month because that will pay. This will not. Why take the risk you cannot afford? So it's best suited for those who have full-time jobs or school. This is great. Swing trading. But have enough free time to stay up to date with what is going on in the global economies. Medium-term trends. There's no medium-term trend right now. We know the overall trend monthly. You want to take a look at the monthly? We just closed in red. Below 9,600 on the monthly. Opened. Sorry, we did not close. We opened. The first red Heiken Ashi candle. A hike and a sheath to me are a trend indicator, so I think that this could continue. September and whatnot, this could curve down. I mean, you are going to see some big moves. Hell, you might see like 10K, 10,300, 10,200 tops up and down. This could happen. This candle just opened all clean, no wicks. So next month is going to be fireworks, okay? So yes, momentum is all over the place. It's on every time frame. You can use RSI for momentum. You can use MFI for momentum. You can use our blue wave algorithm for momentum. You can use pretty much anything you want. If you know how to read it, MSX makes it easy for you. You don't have to interpret the signs. It just tells you which levels are to consider longing or shorting. Divergences, lightning strikes, they all play out. And when they appear, you wait for the candle close, you wait for the next candle, third candle, on higher time frames especially, the 1 candle, 2 candle rule. And if you see a continuation and the candle is going with the trend, then enter the short or enter the long. Your stops will save you a lot of money. You can be losing 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, $20, and then on a move like this, when you finally enter it again and you didn't get stopped out from your entry, which in case when this showed up over here, it jumped, you entered and just held, you would have captured nice profits that would have recovered you from all those previous losses. So you have to be willing to take losses. You have to be willing to take losses because first of all, they give you a count. They give you a count of how many losing trades you've had. And see, if you enter and you hold and you say, no, I refuse to take the loss just because I refuse to be wrong. See, that's a problem. That's a problem because the longer you hold, the worse it gets. It's just like, it's like, you know, as soon as you bought, price starts going against you and you're like, what the heck, man? And honestly, if it went against you by $5 even, cut the fucking trade. Excuse my French. Cut it. I don't want to see people getting wrecked on my Discord. Cut the trade as soon as you see that the price literally went, like you entered. Wait for it a little bit. 1, 2, 3 candles. Let it play out. Let it do its Bitcoin thing up and down. And then when you're at break even, place your stop loss just $5 below, and that's gonna cost you nothing compared to the winning trades that you will have. See, on the 15-minute chart, if you traded each one of these dots, you had all successful winning trades except maybe this one here. When the dot appeared and this candle wiped you out of your position. Good. Because this yellow axis continuation, sure, it went up, but eventually it came down. Eventually it came down. So it appeared, and as a matter of fact, from here to here, that's a $120 move. Okay? So this is what I want you to know, guys. Very, very important stuff. Each and every time you see the dots, hold it, place your stop loss. If it knocks you out, the winning trades that you will, I mean, we're looking at it right now. There's absolutely nothing in here. 1 hour, $141 move. There's another $120 move over here. First flag, $70 move. Maybe you held it. I don't know. Maybe you held it. If you did, 167, congratulations. You get better and better with this. What I do is I take a percentage off here, move my stop loss closer to the price where I took the percentage off, and let the rest ride and keep moving my stop loss. Here's another one. You entered here. It went up $80. $80. I told you guys, if it goes up $80, take your profit, because what happened after that is it came back and your stop was here. It knocked you out of the position, came back again, trapped people, knocked out their position, and then finally we had this candle, this profitable candle here. So that's your scalping 101. This is pretty much the only way you can do it. And yes, there is momentum. It's just that it's not as strong. You will not see moves, power moves like we see in uptrend or major downtrend. But look at this. Every time. That's a 15-minute solid signals from all around the place on MSX and Armageddon. Yes. What else do I want to say? Swing trading. Speaking of how to identify a trend. Okay, guys. So identifying a trend, you really don't need any indicators for that, because this is not Armageddon. Is not. It has a function to tell you which direction the trend is headed. It is true. It does this mathematically, automatically calculates it, and you can see it by observing this blue line and the steepness or the degree of the direction it's pointing at. So 45 degrees and higher, that's how steep the trend is. If you go to the 3-day chart, for example, over here, on 3-day, you see that we're still overall bullish on 3 days. $1,000 move on this blood diamond. Anyways, 3-day chart. You have a daily chart, and what are you looking at? By the way, daily is about to curve. It's about to curve. RSI is going up, and lightning is in the transitional zone. So I say there's a possibility to the upside. VWAP is about to cross the yellow line. One candle rule. It closes above here. We will see if it's above this EMA, the magnetic line over here, the 2 EMAs. Once I see a candle like that, I expect 10K by sometime tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. If you're in the States, morning time. I expect a nice little move up, because we might see the first daily signal since this time here. Over here. Now, just based on MSX, right? Let's observe an interesting thing here. When this dot like this showed up, look. When this showed up over here last time, from here to about here, it's a $200 move on the daily. But I would like to point out something, and that is we were way below the baseline here. The Bollinger Bands were compressing, and this crazy sell-off, we were at the end of a year-long bear market, like at the very end of it. And then we had a major sell-off. So unless you're ready for this by tomorrow, a $3,000 move to the downside, which I doubt is going to happen, what I think might happen is, you see how the VWAP tried to cross here, and if you try to front run it, you failed. Because if you didn't wait for the next candle, confirmation candle, so the daily must close with a bullish candle, you don't take a trade. And then the next day, when the second bullish candle shows up, you can enter. If it changes like it did over here, very, very important and interesting stuff. This candle looked like it was about to, and people are like, yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna be, we're going up. This is as low, 5K, 5.7 is as low as we go. And unfortunately, we dropped further. We had another GP. Now this is a daily chart, man. This is nasty. This is nasty. If you entered blindly on this signal, considering all things below the baseline and everything, and you waited for a reversal, you 25 days underwater, paying funding fees, and you had to wait 133 days to break even. You probably didn't hold that long. Nobody holds that long unless you're spot trading. But this is the reality of things here. The chances of probability. We just have, with MSX and Armageddon, higher probability setups than most other people, just because of how it is designed. And so, looking at this daily over here, I know, I kind of shifted gears over here. I was talking about something else, but when looking at the daily, you can see how it's curving up. And I think we're going to have a similar effect. So RSI is, as long as it's above 30, in my book, it's bullish. In my book, it has the potential to reverse. And on the daily, we're touching the Bollinger Bands, and we're already starting to deviate from them. And I think once we cross over here, all we need is just 1 or 2 whale transactions to propel us up to 10K. Yes, I believe so. Maybe 9,800 to start with to FOMO in, because as we can see, this is the level. As a matter of fact, it's a good thing that we just kind of went over here and start looking at things right about here. 9,827. Yes, that's our level that we're looking at to flip, and if we do, we're bullish. So there comes a time when you actually have to wait in order to be profitable and be easy peasy trading. Look, someone came to me yesterday and they said, oh, crypto phase this, crypto phase that. Their Discord, you know, like noobs, they're posting like multiple trades a day. How do they do it? And then here we are talking about flipping support, resistance, and waiting. First of all, this is not a competition. Like I mentioned before, this is not a race. I don't even know what crypto face or whoever else do in their channels. That's their business. Okay, this was never the, I don't know how we crossed paths, but it happened, and here we are. We have a community that I think can and should get along and learn from each other, because essentially we're dealing with the same setup in terms of understanding momentum trades, whether it's Cypher or MarketSpy. Of course, Spy is so much better. And the deviations here, the div hunter, I'm sure that CryptoFace and his group are going to implement these. But remember, we had them first because it's a necessity. I do believe so. Okay, bragging rights. Enough. Next, I think that the people who come to me and say things like that, never compare yourself to other traders. Never be ashamed of a single dollar that you make or lose. Okay, this is your game. This is your time to shine. You have all the tools in the world to benefit yourself. No one else. All the other people, we may be friends here, but out here in the markets, my job is to take away from your position. When you're trading and I'm trading, we are not friends as market participants. You understand? This is a delta neutral territory. It's a very aggressive market, and there are millions and millions of participants trading a day. So we have to realize that our emotions and whatever we know about other groups and all that nonsense should be put aside. It should be put aside, and we should only focus on our risk. The amount that we're willing to risk per trade. That's all. There's nothing else. There's nothing, you know, noobs are posting this and that somewhere out there on CryptoFace, Discord, shma. No. We don't look that way. That's a distraction, okay? And if it looks tempting, if the profit logs and profit walls are looking like way out of your league, honestly, I wouldn't worry about that, because that's not the intended goal. The intended goal here is to grow your account so you can trade larger amounts later down the road and do those trades. You don't know where those people come from. And also the ratio in terms of how many members. I would imagine Face has thousands and thousands of members probably on his Discord. I don't know. I gotta visit, but I think there may be tons of people over there, and so the ratio at which, you know, some of the like lucky people, gamblers, that they get lucky and post it, you have more consistency, or so it appears, but it's not from the same people. It's just random people probably posting their results from these gambles, and you never see them again. Or maybe you keep seeing them because they're such good traders. Well, then better go to CryptoFace's Discord and talk to those guys, because maybe you can learn a thing or two. We do not trade choppy traps. Do you go to the forest and you literally look for like traps to step on? Because this is what it is. It actually looks like one. Now this Jedi lightsaber over here, the Hambo, the two-sided lightsaber over here, those are pin bars that we usually buy. Like over here. Oh, Haikanashi, over here. Another example, if it's at the top, you sell. Simple as that. We go to the bottom, here's another pin bar, we buy. Here's another one, we buy. And here's another one. Should have bought. I was asleep. That happened when I was asleep. I don't know what the hell happened here. But I didn't have a position. I told you on Discord, I closed all my positions and I'll take a look at the markets. I am very careful, paranoid, and untrusting of these markets, especially Bitcoin. Now, since we're talking about markets, guys, if you don't see a setup, as I started this video, I'm a bit random, but I started from mentioning something called zoning out. So zoning out is forgetting which time frame you're on. You open it and you're hypnotized. Your position you entered, let's say you go to Bybit and you entered, right, your position, and then you literally sit on this 5-minute time frame or whatever time frame. You sit and you refuse to move, and you lost time count. You lost everything about your trade. You don't know what's going on. You're looking at volume. You're having like some thoughts in your mind. You're getting zoned out. You come back to the chart, trading view. You look at Armageddon. You're like, okay, I'm looking at this signal, and you're focused on this signal. You're not switching because you think that the time it takes to switch between these tabs will minus out from your time trading somehow, and that you might lose some sort of essential information that might come along. Look, these things take time to develop, people. They take time to develop. And so if you're not sure, look, there's another signal, god damn it. $5. But it's $5 nevertheless. Like I said, whatever the market gives you, we should be thankful for that. Someone was saying that you know, the moves are not big enough to profit. Don't market buy. I don't know why you're trading stuff market buying. If you are, if not, forgive me for assuming too much, but I just know how it was for me in the very beginning. Trading is that these markets seem to be way more exciting than stocks. And so basically it comes down to this. If you don't see a setup that is obvious to you, everything that you learn from Twitter, from Josh Rager, from CryptoCred, from CryptoFace, from Daily Crypto, from The Moon, from who else is out there? From the Dog Pound. all those guys, all those shills, all those people, personalities, you know, sometimes they have some good content. Sometimes you might come across some of their content and say, hey, this is actually resonates with me. I understand what this guy is talking about here. You have to trust that if there's no setup, look, allocate some of your Bitcoin to altcoins maybe. Start scanning the charts and see if you can find a trending market, so that these signals are more powerful in those markets. See if you can switch between not only the majors, but maybe stock. Or if there's nothing to do, go to these baby pipsology, schools of pipsology thing and learn a thing or two. Like I said, most of it is trash, but it will give you some level, an extreme level of literacy about the markets. The information of how to trade here should not be taken seriously. It's a one hat fits all. Not a good idea, but you will have gained literacy skills. You will read the markets. You will understand what it is that you're looking at and what to do from here. So for beginners on our Discord, I don't know if you guys are going to tune into this later, but I hope that you do. This is what you need to know. You go over here and check it out. Identify, but do not label yourself, because there are times when you have to be a swing trader if the charts are telling you, I'm about to swing trade. So you become a swing trader. A hunter does not, he tracks everything, all kinds of animals, right? Check this out. You don't mind holding your trades for several days. You're willing to take a few trades, but more carefully to make sure your trades are very good setups, which Bitcoin right now is not giving us any. You don't mind having large stop losses. We do. It's a derivatives market. Like I said, stop losses should be very tight, and upon entry they should be right there where you entered, or maybe $5 at most below. If it knocks you out, you'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losing trades, but that one winning trade is going to more than make up for all your losses, or it'll at least break even on your account. Do not use MarketSpy at all, unless you see a crazy volume candle coming in. That will not be the final candle, and I mean like $100 million volume candles. So go to this website. I'm actually going to drop it in the in the description. Mahler, how are you doing, my man? There you go. So consider taking some points from this. Identify your style, because with it you will never be complaining about anything ever again. So that covers the momentum part of whether it works or not. And like this title of the video says, no matter what kind of trader you are, and I don't recommend you stick by your label. Now, School of Pipsology says you cannot switch your styles all the time. I believe that you do. You have to be flexible, but you have to be a core, let's say, swing trader at core. And then sometimes when the opportunity arises, or something comes along and says, you know what, it's time to drop the derivatives, not leverage trade, and be a position trader for the next 3 months, hedge my Bitcoin, short it on 1x, for example, and just preserve my US dollar value. By doing so, you can just become this and go into deep meditation and wait it out. It's not fun. It's not the sexy part of trading. You don't want any of this stuff, because, oh yeah, you must make sure you're well capitalized, or you'll most likely get margin called or liquidated. In derivatives, because of the funding, we don't want to do this. This is position trading is for spot traders more like. I definitely recommend you not use leverage on this style of trading. Swing trading is the safest for beginners. Easy to follow group signals, your favorite groups out there. Diversify. Don't get stuck in one place, guys. Unless you think Cryptopocalypse now is the way to go. I don't mind that, but like I said, educate yourself, spread far and wide, and just try to absorb only the relevant information that speaks to you personally, because there's a lot of noise. I might get noisy. Who knows? Like, my kids may drive me up the wall and I come here and I say, well, you know what? Today I'm going to like short everything because I'm angry. I'm angry. No emotion, no problem. For scalpers, clearly a few seconds grab very small amounts of pips. Now we're talking about $20 moves on a 1 minute chart as many times as they can throughout the busiest time of the day. So not randomly, but throughout the busiest time of the day. I talked about this in the beginning of this video. Scalpers basically have to be glued to their chart. So do not come home from work and become a scalper in that window of 2 hours that you have. You will get wrecked because you're not familiar with price action. You don't know, you haven't been watching all day to know what is going on. You have no bias, you have nothing is developed. You're just thinking that, yeah, quick scan tells me that this might be a good short opportunity. You don't know what happened throughout the day, news pieces, you know, some fundamental, you know, something happened in the background and the markets are just about to react to this, but you came home eager to trade. This is fun, we all want to eat, and then you enter a trade and insta underwater. So this is best suited for those who can spend several hours undivided attention to their trading. Undivided attention. It requires intense focus and quick thinking to be successful. And the worst thing that you can do is say that the indicator screwed me over, or the support and resistance level didn't hold, or, you know, my internet is too slow, or my dog started barking right at the moment and I pressed the wrong button. I shorted instead of longing and I closed my market closed my position because my tab was switched to market. Now, actually, it happened to me a few days ago about a $2,000 position because of this freaking tab, and I have multiple accounts. I have this one, I have another one over here. To minimize my risk, I spread out across 4 accounts, and all these windows, they all set up the same, they look the same. And so when I saw I wanted to place an exit order on my limit, and what happened was it was on market, and I clicked buy, and it closed my short position in negative. It was underwater by about $1,000 or so. Horrible stuff. So make sure you're very careful. Don't FOMO in, and make sure you stay away from this market shit right here, because you will pay fees and never ever earn a penny, because these guys are out to scam you. All exchanges are out to scam you. That's the popular thing these days, right? Like, people say scam, scam, scam. So I'm just gonna use it. It's not really a scam, it's a business model. But if you're trading small amounts, you will get scammed, or at least it'll feel like it. If you're trading using market. So please be aware of that. Regarding Crypto Danny says, how long are we going to be waiting for some solid instructions on how to use this indicator? Been patiently waiting for some time now. Unfortunately, I don't have 20 hours to dedicate to watching videos. Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. So here's my response to this. If anybody out there who's willing to not take this for granted, but actually treasure it, treasure the signals, treasure the market, treasure your capital, and do it slowly, gradually, accumulation mind. If your way of thinking is we I don't have 20 hours. 20 hours is nothing, man. Nothing. People go get degrees in finance and they still don't know how to do this shit. 20 hours to learn something as beautiful as this here? Look, I know my videos are very long and most of them are live streams, but I did create a little playlist, which on average every video is like what? Like 1 hour at most. A movie. You can watch a movie. No good movies lately. If you guys have some recommendations, let me know. But The Matrix 4 should be amazing, but that's some time away. I don't know. But instead of watching a movie, just watch one of those videos. Besides that, there's an individual on YouTube for all you new people. His name is Cryptoface, and what you can do is you can follow his videos because they have a similar indicator over here, and some of the strategies that he discusses, I think he has videos on that, will help you along the way. But it takes time to invest. If you're not willing to invest your personal time into learning, you just bought a brand new Ferrari and you want someone, the dealership will tell you what the buttons maybe do, but they're not going to teach you how to drive it. You got to go to school for that, and that school is your own personal time invested. I have the videos in the playlist. And yeah, the cheat sheet, KB, thank you. That's right, the cheat sheet is also a great thing to look at. It just doesn't have these blood diamonds. These were added later by popular demand. Speaking of which, the blood diamonds, I'd like to show you very important thing over here. Glad you guys see, this is what I love, when you guys bring shit up like this and you say, okay, here, this is called the wrecked diamond. Not this one. This one, you still made them. You still made $400 move. That's fine. I'm not gonna call it a shit signal. This right here, these two X's, this. Actually, if you scaled, that's another $200 move. These are valid signals. I don't care. The indicator does not know how far we will go or how low we will go. It thinks it's the end of the trend. As soon as it senses that it's here to protect you, so it's extra paranoid. It's telling you like, oh shit, we might be reversing over here. So, okay. Yeah, we need to learn how to use the tools, man. The hammer. I'm trying to, like, yes, this signal over here is a perfect example. How, but even then, if you short it over here, yeah, this is wrecked. You got wrecked over here on this lightning and on this X, and on this X, on the 4 hour. Which I advise people short these X's with confluence when there's a shuriken nearby, the top of the flag, and maybe a diamond hovering around, and especially when there's like yellow X continuation. Yeah, that's a short signal, but they all happen way candles apart, so it's very, very hard to time them. But okay, so over here, like I said, when we had something like this happen, unfortunately, there was no way it's a valid signal, and I'll tell you why. Because I recommend people wait a candle or two before taking a trade. So as soon as, which also brings us, yes, let's talk about this, which brings us to the issue of repainting. So trading view, it's not like are you guys familiar with MetaTrader? The MetaTrader software or Sierra charts? They have their built-in engines for to display indicators of all sorts, and this might actually be ported to those as well. But what I'm saying is, these, what was I saying? Yeah, repainting. Repainting is what, by definition? Let's go to Repainting. People get these ideas about repainting is something that so this is what repainting is basically. You're looking at a chart like this, and when you refresh it, let's save it. When you refresh it, the signals that appeared on the chart are no longer there. This is not the case. We do use a security call for you technical people out there who might know about this, which calculates time frames like 5 minute, 10 minute. So if you're looking at, for example, what repainting is, if you're looking at 1 hour, what is going to happen is that a 5 minute might flash a diamond, and if it somehow crosses with the parameters that are set for a 1 hour candle to be identified as a bearish candle, it will flash as the 5 minute or 1 minute is going up or down in the background to form the 1 hour candle. It will flash several times depending on where they are on those charts. So if the blood diamond is showing on the 1 minute and then it somehow intersects with 1 hour, the 1 hour will flash the blood diamond a couple of times, but ultimately when the candle closes, it might not be there. Why is this not an issue? Because you should not be jumping on these signals as soon as they start flashing. In some cases, for the blood diamonds, it might be a good idea. But since we're using post-only limit orders, meaning you have the post-only activated and you're using a limit order and you're placing the price above where the signal appears, what you want to do is, like this X, when it appeared, it doesn't matter if it's flashing while the candle is in progress, because you want to ultimately see the signal on higher time frames, especially on higher time frames, and place your orders above. They get filled and you hold it. Repainting is not an issue. I really dislike this word, and TradingView here, they're putting it in little quotes over here saying the repainting problem. It's not a problem. A study is calculated differently in real time and in historical data, regardless of using the parameter look ahead, which means that, look, as long as the historical data is not altered, there's no repainting. A historical data can be altered if you have some indicators. What they do is they calculate like 5 candles ahead, look ahead time, which is described over here. The look ahead is set to true, and when it does that, it looks ahead 5 candles, and when the 5th candle closes, it will go back 5 candles and show you a signal, bing, at the top of a candle, making it look like this blood diamond appeared like right at the peak somehow over here, which is impossible. It is mathematically impossible to do so. There's no crystal ball to say that this was the peak. We have transient candles for that. We have those green bullish transient candles showing you that each one of these could be the last one. And honestly, each and every candle should be treated as the last of its kind before reversing. Yeah? Does that make sense? So repainting is not what people make it out to be. It's almost like when you hear this trendy word that everyone tosses around without any research, and they're just like, oh, it's repainting, it's repainting. Yes, it does. It's a normal function. It's like saying the dishwashing machine is like throwing soap on dishes. Like, oh my god, oh my god. It's what it's supposed to do. It's its main function. These signals get painted and repainted in cases when we have a historical price data that's being formed by the look ahead candles that are yet to come. In our case, we do not have it. We have the function, the security function that does that, but the way it's designed is the worst that can happen is these signals can flash. Look at this ugliness. 1 minute. You call this trading? You can't scalp this. So look at the 1 minute. How beautiful is this? Like, your signals are here. The blood diamonds are playing out. The buy signals are playing out every goddamn time. You just have to be able to hold it and not grope and mope about your entries. Don't switch them. It's been mentioned before many times. It's a classic now. Switching your mind back and forth is not a good idea. So, a losing trade like this over here, 100x leverage, all in, short, and price went out and liquidated you. For example, it didn't. That's too little of a move. But you have to be able to hold a little bit and place your stops. Just calculate, you know, on entries, exits. $10 below. If it triggers you and goes against you, oh well, too bad. You will catch a move that will be profitable, but you will have a shit ton of losing trades. Your job is to make sure that you have small losses. Don't worry about the frequency. There will be a lot of them, but your big gains, your big move will outweigh all those losses because this indicator has more profitable trading signals than losing trading signals. It has false positives that you can run into, such as these, but if you're not betting the farm and you're careful and you understand what these time frames mean according to your type of trading personality, then you should be good to go. This should not be an issue at all. Look at this red X, 1 minute, and we're at the top of the hill. Money flow, I don't care. Tree is changing, it'll probably keep going down. So just enter it and place your stop loss just above at 9644 over here. But you can't enter it now. You can't enter it. You had to plan your entry from over here, and you had to put a sell entry over here and hoping that it would pick you up and go down, because otherwise you're market buying and you're losing fees. You're losing so much fees. You can't afford to do that. Not with these exchanges, not with Bitcoin derivatives exchanges or any exchange. You should always use or try to use post only and limit orders. So we have a range over here. Look at that. 5 minute. Considering on the 5 minutes that we have this dot, I would think that maybe we'll range here for a bit and eventually maybe finally break out. I don't know. But we're not analyzing, right? It's just, it kind of came at me, so I had to comment on this. Let's see. Hold on. So another way, the Bollinger Bands are finally fixed. Yesterday, Pumpkin told us to basically look into it, and the problem was you could not change your Bollinger Bands settings. Oh, wait a minute. It's not right. Here it is. That was the old version I was looking at. Bollinger Bands, right? So 5 minutes. The best way to scalp and predict your entries, for example, when the bands are tight, that means it's a no trade zone. We're ranging basically. Compression like this means there's literally no volume, nothing. Like look how tight it is. There's nothing. So here's what, let's just go historically to over here, for example. So let's say we're here and we're looking at it from this perspective. We just had a massive move up and we're looking at Bollinger Bands and we're like, okay, what's next? We're going back down, ping. So you see this needle over here. You don't have time to enter. Over here, however, when you see something like this happen, look at that. We're approaching the Bollinger Bands over here. You can go ahead and do this. You can buy your sell orders at 9,630. You sell your Bitcoin or short it over there in those levels. What will happen is that the price will come pick you up and carry you down to the lower Bollinger Band. And this is only especially good on like 5 minutes. If you're scalping this, you should have this activated. You should have some sort of a channel to know where to sell and where to buy. And here we go. Now, okay, you bought at this line, and let's say you want to sell at the bottom of this line. And you just hold your position. Hold your position. And pretty much. I would put a stop loss over here. And this was a losing trade. It would have stopped me out. But then I'm not trying to trade this, but if I had to, this is what you do, essentially. From the top of the band to the bottom of the band. And you're capturing $10 moves. I mean, you can make money here like this, but you need to be a market maker using limit orders. Tricky VWAP. Trying to make it look like we're crossing while the money is entering the market. What it's going to do is this. And this will probably and RSI. We'll see. I have no idea what is going on with the markets right now. All my positions are closed. But I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. This video was very important. Identifying yourself as a type of a trader, what type of a trader you are, and how you can use momentum in every one of these instances. Whether you're a scalper, day trading, swinging, or hodling, position trading, all require momentum. In order to gauge momentum, you can use simple tools like RSI. For that reason, we have the power zones over here. As you can see, you can look at the past previous action over here, and you can see how we've been hitting the bear ceiling, the bear resistance. I talked about this in the early videos of power zones. So when we're hitting these bear resistances, just short at the peak of the bear resistance right here. It works every time. And most likely We're at the peak of the bear resistance, and look, we have these dots. These are actually like the lightning pale blue, and these spots are like one of my favorites to plan my trade when I see them, and combined with all the other indications. What I do is I like to prepare my trades and start planning and placing them about $20-50 above this when the dot appears on lower time frames. And usually price scoops them up and comes back down, and I sell very low 5-minute charts for trading. That's like, I don't know, if it's a $10-20 move, I want to be out of this because I just don't know what is going on. I'm not fast enough to know what is going on higher time frames. It might be coming into like daily might close, for example, and the signal might show up here, and suddenly we'll have an influx of volume coming in. So that's something to keep in mind. This candle is looking more like a decisive candle over here. Decisive candle. I don't know, daily is giving me some hope. If within the next few days, I'll let you guys know, we will capture one of these candles for a $500 move, that'll be good for us. All of this time invested into watching the charts will be paid off. The volume on the daily is declining. The volume is declining, and the price has been rising. What was it? The high was 97975. Jeez, man, this is so tough, right? It's kind of bearish, to be honest. It's kind of bearish, you know. Price is rising and volume is declining. It's kind of bearish. So if we do see a bullish candle, we will have to be patient and see the next bullish candle, because after this bullish candle, which is also a trap candle, we can see right away like a big sell candle, the FU candle. So we cannot just trade on one candles. We have to wait for the goddamn confirmations. But it'll be so worth it once we have like a proper nice, once we see like people coming in, the greed index is going up, everyone's like balked, you know. Everyone thought like we're crashing, they're gonna short it, but suddenly everyone is buying, and backed is actually flowing market into the space, and is buying from everyone. And as they keep buying, the sellers keep selling, thinking that their last chance to sell right now at 10K, and suddenly price is at 12K. Next thing you know, everyone is invalidated, and they're like, oh shit. And we look back and we'll have like a nice little dot over here. After a $2,000-3,000 move, we will look back and say, fuck, I should have longed over here with a $1,000 contract. I think the monthly is going to be, see, trend wise, it's not bad. It's not bad trend wise. But let's disable it. But Bybit, disgusting. Let's go to Bitunix. Or better yet, Bitstamp. By the way, Bitunix seems to be a better charting. They have better candles, basically, less fake outs and all that. Like the wicks are not as crazy. Bybit, BitMEX, they're kind of something. They're doing something there in the background. I'm not too sure what is going on. Great exchange. Once Bybit, they will have the freaking sliding BitMEX style price sliding thing. That's when you're gonna start making money, because the ability to slide the price live as the candle is dipping on BitMEX, you know, to manipulate the price, the system, as you know, for you BitMEX traders, you know, it freezes and you're like, your position cannot be moved and you get stopped out or liquidated, right? That's what happens most of the time. In Bybit should not have that problem. It will finally allow us to move our prices fast together. As the candle is falling, we can literally like move it in real time to catch the bottom or lower automatically without any trailing stops or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yo, on the monthly, the next predicted price is over here. You see that plus on the Armageddon? It's 8,895. I wonder if it'll wick down there and then let's see. Like if this is making you uncomfortable, if nothing is clear, then just don't trade it. Wait for it. Or just scalp away. Scalp away, but don't over scalp, because you will get caught when the big boys come in and the 3-day candle starts to play out. Yo, monthly is closing in the positive. Soonish. However, that doesn't mean anything. Heiken-Ashi monthly is closing in the red. And if you look at Heiken-Ashi, they usually have 2-3 candles that are red that follow after. It's very rare when you have one, yeah, maybe like this, one red candle, maybe 2. Here's one, but that's uber bull run over here, so that didn't last long on a 3-day. But I'm wondering if the monthly will also give us one red Heiken-Ashi candle and then another and a third one to complete the end of this, the beak. Daily just had a print. We have our dot on the daily, ladies and gentlemen. Radio time to switch it up. Maybe not. It's kind of groovy. This Thai language or something? I don't know. You guys understand? Help me understand. Yo, it's a... Oh. I want to see money flow reverse. Anyways, I think 10K is inbound. Soonish. Where's that radio station anyways? Where am I playing it from? It's kind of too much right now. I don't see it. I don't. Oh, okay. So for Crypto Danny, get on it, man. Spend some time. Look, I am doing what I can for now to educate people about MarketSpy and how to trade it, but it's not like I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's not like I owe anyone a tutorial, because we have those tutorials already. So you guys should not be expecting more, because I didn't promise to have one. I said we have a playlist and pretty much everything you need to know about is there. Plus what I find is we cannot be using a universal method to trade these charts, because if there was one, they would mark us, find out about us, and shut the whole thing down, and will adjust their algorithms to go against what we have here with MarketSpy, with things like Cypher and the similar. Because it's just that I've seen YouTube videos with people who have identified that when the VWAP crosses the zero line, you know, those guys, I have the most respect for those guys, because they actually sat down with their new car, this beast over here. They sat down and they dissected it, and they looked at it and they said, okay, how can I trade with this thing differently than what CR teaches, or how he understands it. So you see, we should be able to find our own strategies. You have the basic understanding of what to do using the playlist that I put together for MarketSpy. But beyond that, yeah, sure, maybe in the future we'll have like a little slideshow presentation tutorial. I'll get to it eventually. But it's been a really short time putting the whole channel together, and I honestly have a lot of love for you guys who have joined, and you seem to be intelligent, smart, peaceful, and just right up my alley. That kind of crowd. I want to be surrounded by people like that. But I did have someone come around on YouTube and say, this is a scam. Oh yeah. Some guy came around and said that he bought the indicator, lost all his money, and it's a scam because it's repainting or something like that. I would like to remind that individual again not to spam my channel with false FUD, BS information. If you need to talk to me and if you're having problems, please contact me directly on Discord. I don't bite, I don't hide. I am always here, and you guys can just pretty much talk to me and we'll figure it out. We'll see how we can get you your money back. We'll see what happened. And I don't think anyone out there has that kind of time. Because we're new, because we're small, I still have time to attend to people and talk about different personal strategies and whatnot, what you can do in certain situations, how you can minimize your risk, how you can recover maybe. I've helped one individual, and I welcome more people to come and talk to me in Discord. But do not go to my channel and say, this is a scam, I bought it. No, you didn't buy it. You did not buy it, because you would have talked to me. I'd like to think that we have plenty of intelligent people that can help each other out, engage on Discord, and that's wonderful. Shoe Money trades pretty good that way with VWAP. Yes, Shoe Money. I kept hearing about the individual. Shoe Money was actually the person who gave us the idea to put the yellow VWAP dots over here when the line crosses at the most optimal places. And that was a direct strategy, replication, implementation into MarketSpy X. So thank you, Shoe Money. And I'm saying people can devise their own strategies, and I look forward. It's like when you're riding a car, driving a car, how do you drift? Do you cut the cord? Like, what do you burn rubber? What do you do with it? I'd like to see what people are doing with it. Slowly, first we start using the playlist that I have. Second, we can expand further out into the community and be resourceful, because that's what it's all about. It's not about having a tunnel vision. It's about going to other channels, checking out other creators, see who's used MarketSpy or Market Cypher. If they share the same, they definitely share the same looks, and a good chunk of the blue wave algorithm, for example, can be what Face was talking about, what Crypto Face was talking about in his videos. I think he has tutorials, I'm not sure, but I've definitely watched one or two a while back, and the anchor waves is how he calls them, the anchor waves, and the relationship, like how far apart should they be. I have already talked about this. You need to have them really close within the range. If you have 1, 2, 3, then the next one is reset until you wait for the next bigger node over here, bigger anchor wave or whatever, bigger signal. So that's how you should treat this. But there are instances and cases where once you see the node, just because you don't see this impulse signal down here, you should still consider entering on these little humps over here, because they will propel you up a little further. So if you're scalping, do not ignore them, especially if they're linked, especially if they're connected. So if you have 1, 2, that's a good one. That's too far apart. When there's like something in the middle, basically you have to have clean space in the middle, or maybe have at least one smaller and then an even smaller one in order for it to be valid. In this case, like this over here, I know it will not make any sense here, but this area 1 and the second one, that would be here. So that's a link. That's a relationship which the momentum slingshots up. See the pink dot, we're preparing ourselves. We sell. We see the blue dot. Actually, as a matter of fact, for you scalpers out there, Bollinger Bands is one thing. Combined with these lightning signals, like ping, 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 right? This is also a great way to kind of get into the trade, because these happen usually before or in advance of a move down. So it gives you plenty of time, like in this case over here, plenty of time to scale your orders. Market orders are not permitted in our trades. I mean, you can still go ahead and do it. No one's going to punish you for that. No one's going to spank you, but basically limit orders. Once you see this and you see some confluence that we're at the peak of the blue wave and we stop being oversold, place your orders over here, let them fill, and then go down and sell them. Sell them on the next dot over here. So devise your own strategy. See, I cannot create this one thing and say like, this is how you do it, because rigidness is what's going to bring your account to zero. The inability to adapt, shift, and change and learn new things and spend time evolving as a trader is what's going to bring your account to zero. Even if your risk management sucks, you should be able to be fast, because this money is fast. anchor, then trigger wave. Okay, so this is the anchor and this is the trigger wave. We just call them nodes, but I get it doesn't matter how you call it, it's still gonna sail the same. The ship is going to sail the same way, no matter how you call it. But it definitely works, and it's a powerful strategy. And this alone, if you're patient, if you don't force every one of these on you, then you can make money. But just scanning this chart, you can see that each and every one of these was a successful, like each and every one of these strategically was a very successful call. Basically, signals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have like, I don't know, 3 losing trades, but this trade on this dot was mega winning and this dot was mega winning, then why are you worried about the 3 losing trades over here? There's no need to mope about it. Just proceed to collect what little the market gives you and be happy with that. So we're good. We're good. All right, D Live. Who's on D Live right now? Where is it? Phew. There's one person on D Live, and he's about to get 50 D Live cryptocurrency coins. And that's probably me. That's probably me right now. Who's watching it? No one's watching D Live. All right. Put your hands up if you are on D Live. No? No. Oh well. So usually what I do, if you're on D Live, I do give out this Lino cryptocurrency that you can convert back to your PayPal or Bitcoin if you accumulate enough. It's not much, but it's a lot of fun. So make sure you check it out. Hi, Stefano. So that covers it. That covers it. Let me scan Discord and see if we have some more questions. Okay. I use the DSR a lot. So this, for example, in the 15 minutes, this is too far apart. I would not take this trade as a linked node. I think the relationship between these two is interrupted by these 2 waves here, so I'm not sure if it could go up, way up, but I'd rather be safe. This is just how I am, and there's no rush. There's no rush. The most important thing is to set the signals, come back and analyze every time they show up. And if you get stopped out, then that's okay. So just to calculate, let's say you entered on this. Oof, that's a $50. You would have definitely gotten stopped out from here. $50 move. Theoretically speaking, on this candle, $30 move, that's less than 1%. Over here. So this would be, I'm just trying to see if so the long position was on this square exactly, which the next candle jumped. And if you have the risk to reward ratio is pretty shitty, 1.53, and it's better if it's over 2, preferably. See, it shows you that you got stopped by this candle over here. So next time you can make yourself comfortable in knowing that about $30 away from your entry is your stop, and if price goes against you, well, then you got invalidated. Not only did you save your money, you paid a little ticket fee. You paid the price for being wrong, but at least you have preserved your capital from taking further losses, and now you can re-enter on the next signal, which in this case was here. Let's switch the candles over. I just want to see something over here. I wasn't around for this, so, but pin bar, this would have been the first indication. You have your pale blue spot over here, RSI oversold, good conditions. Good conditions, you don't even have to wait for the signal. Good conditions, too long over here. And but supposedly you went over here and longed on this signal. The risk to reward ratio is about 6. You want $30 as your stop loss. So risk reward ratio is 3. So this is a good scalp over here. The only thing is, it takes time to actually execute this, because let's be real, what are you gonna do? Market buy once you have this confirmation and this signal shows up and it's like boom, it jumps. By the time you're market buying, you're getting eaten alive. This is all fees, and then you're instantly underwater, and you're still underwater all this time later. So in this case, it is best to use a combination of strategies here. Sometimes, you know, in smaller markets, first of all, Bollinger Bands, when you see that they're being touched many times and the candle finally bounces, and I mean like bounces, like you can see this gap over here. Here you don't see the gaps. These bounces, you don't see the gap between the Bollinger Band line at the bottom, but here on this pin bar you have the gap. And this is the opening position, and this is the closing position. So while it's open, you have a chance to maybe place your limit orders right down below, or maybe one big limit order over here, and then see if you can get picked up. Because after I'll show you something. Let's zoom in a little bit. After we opened over here, closed, we went as high as 9,515, but then we closed. And if you place your orders, just in order to make use of this, look at Bollinger Bands and say, okay, the candle high was here. Let's go to the candle close. So close is our confirmation candles all the time. Most traders know this. Place your buy orders at 9,504, which is close of the candle. Place it right here. And what will happen is the next opening candle will slightly dip down, hopefully pick you up. And this would have been like an excellent entry over here. And then continue on its way up. So that's one way you can do limit trades over here, using this simple strategy. RX, hello. The Cypherist is in the his A. But yes, absolutely doable. It's just that you have to be a little bit faster. But hopefully these pink spots over here give you enough time to prepare for such trades. Okay. Yeah, guys, we covered a lot today. Kind of jumped into this in the middle of the day, but maybe you can look back and see some of the key points I talked about here in terms of answering Nick's question about momentum and whether it should work or it shouldn't work in certain situations and what to do in choppy markets. So all of the signals are here. Obviously they're much more obvious looking back, but you can still prepare. Just manage your risk as I explained in the beginning. Really good stuff. What else? I think that's about it. Looking at support. So guys, the Cryptopocalypse live section. Oh, all right. Oh, hold on. Let's do the coin distribution. Let's do the D live. Now we have people on D live. All right. So Cryptopocalypse now live section. The just make sure you drop some, like, if you have questions, it'll be much easier for me to come back to that channel and see a consolidation of all the questions that I can take and then create a video around and answer it that way, and hopefully maybe show you some live. Shuriken, we're about to cross down 15 minutes. So in this example, Bollinger Bands were kind of like at the top. Here in this example of the demo account, on one of the accounts that I'm using, we are at this price. Let's go to limit and short because I believe we're going down. This is absolutely, like, there's no volume here. This is an M pattern and I think we're going to drop. Yeah, let's do this one last example of how let's look at smaller time frames real quick for a scalp. Oh, we're still on the bullish 5-minute block. These bullish blocks though. Like what please. This is miserable to look at. Oh man. Like, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? That's the question. I think it's gonna go down. I think. See, 15-minute is looking like it's hitting the ceiling over here, but the lightning is creeping up, so it might push just a little bit higher, just a little bit. Just a little bit. The time frames, volume. Above baseline over here. I don't know about that. Definitely above baseline. So usually if you look back, we have a little bit of way to travel between like the top and the bottom of the baseline. So right now we're kind of like in this transition zone, and Might be a little bit more action to the side. Bullish block needs to close soon. How much time do we have? 1 minute. Let's short it. I think it's gonna go back to normal. It's already oversold at the top. RSI is hitting the roof. That's a 5 minute. See if we have time. 9628. Go to 30. Let's go to about a highly risky contract size, about 10,000. And short. If it goes up and scoops us up over here, that's good. Maybe hit the top of the Bollinger Band again. Live trading this is pointless because, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 move. Like these candles are, and this is on what? This is on 5 minutes. This is a whole live stream right here, and there's nothing, no action. Just flat right now. So it's better if we have some volume that starts picking up, or maybe dropping even more. Yeah. There it is, there it is. Come on, go, 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 go. Alright, D-livers, catch some coins. Let's sprinkle some coins up on top. Not many, not many. Well, since we have a couple of people here, maybe let's add more, so you guys can then tip my channel with the same coins back and forth, you know what I mean? Couple of lemons here and there. It's also fun. It's also fun. D-Live chest. RX, you're a smart man. Sometimes you have to wait a few weeks. There's no need to force it. And if you're not seeing anything, like I said, go scan the markets for altcoins. Trade some shitcoins, see what's going on there. Stocks maybe, I don't know. It's not like Bitcoin is the only thing that we have here. Bybit now has this convertible feature where you can take your Bitcoin, flip it to a shitcoin like LTC, trade that if it's looking more bullish or whatever, and then cash out, flip it back to BTC, come back and rinse and repeat. So there you have options. You have options. What happened? Why? What? I don't understand. Why do we only have 50 Lino points? What is going on? I thought we added some. Oh, snap. There you go. Okay. Distributing the rewards. So make sure you place your bids. I don't know how this works, but like claim the rewards. So whoever gets it, or however. Oh yeah, you need to interact with the channel. I think that's it increases the chances of the coins falling into your account. But here we go. 30 seconds. Interacting. Interact with it. Interact with it now. Have they added LTC yet on Bybit? Didn't they? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, oh, RX, the luckiest follower, RX, got the coin. It's okay, it's okay. We'll do this more often, like I said. The more you spend time here. Dude, you grabbed all them coins last time too. Good looks, man. Nice. Now give me one of them lemons over here. Let's get that animation. The Ninja Turtle animation going. Oh, first time? Okay, yeah. Damn! Nice. Thank you. I love that animation. Oh man. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Oh, now see, now you're at the top of the list over here. RX holds the crown. I like this stuff. YouTube, they should put something like blockchain like this. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's going up. Oh no, it's not. It's getting a haircut. Is BitMEXC low volume like this too? No! See? Our entry did not get filled and it's going down. So on a 5-minute chart, I would do it like this. Place my order at the top of the Bollinger Band or close to it after analyzing my MSX readings. And then place my sell order down below. So between this white line and this white line. You can go to the settings, format, and click price line. And click the lower and the upper lines. And these become your sell levels for Bollinger Bands at the top and at the bottom. So scalping, bouncing between these two is game changing. So if you place an order here, it's really hard to fill in the limit orders, but if you technically you can bring your entry down to here. I shouldn't have been greedy and brought it down to here because this would have been the same entry as if you entered it here, which right now we will go to this level of the Bollinger Band. It'll go to the bottom most likely eventually, maybe not right away, but it'll go there. And so your sell order is right at this level. Or if MSX is telling you that it's going to be a major move down and you have some other confluence telling you that that is the case, then you can just hold it beyond that. Or if the price falls, place your stop loss in this area on this Bollinger Band. Sometimes it will stretch it a little bit. Stretch it like this. Stretch it a little bit, push it down. Like this. But yeah, how to identify, people have asked me, is there an indicator for choppy markets? How can I find, like, how do I know the market is choppy? Well, Bollinger Bands, for example, will show you like a compression band like this, which means there's no volume. ADI is my personal favorite I use over here. It is a better volume indicator than most everything else that's on the market. DMI, the directional moving index, is a great volume tool. I use this as my volume just because these bars don't really tell me the degree of volatility and also how much money is entering or leaving. So right. I don't think they added LTC. Yeah. Anyways, people, enjoy your Sundays and have a blessed weekend. We will see you guys on Discord. It's kick-ass. I love the interaction. I love the fact that everyone is helping each other. The Bybit tools, people are using it, hopefully. If there are many major changes that are coming our way, I'll be sure to let you know in the platoon, intraday, or scalping or whatever. But yeah, there's nothing to look at right now. Once we have a breakout, don't worry, don't regret it and be like, oh, I could have traded that whole $1,000 candle move, because there'll be more to come. That's when people will actually start putting money in. It's not like we're gonna top, peak, and then fall right back down. So that's how it should be. Go back to the beginning of the video and watch some of my rant and tips. What else? That's all. Okay. All right. Tabs. I have some gentleman, Stefano, commenting with like periods and dots. I'm not sure what that means. Thank you guys for being here with us, with me. We will do a detailed analysis soon. But yeah, you should be okay. You're in good hands here. You're in good hands. Just have faith. Use stops. Like I said, 5 trades, 3 losing trades, 2 winning trades. Those 2 winning trades with these signals will trump the losing trades. Make sure your stops are really tight. In, doesn't go your way, out. Don't take a single loss at all. You can lose your trading fee at the most. Don't give anything back to the market. If it goes against you, cut the loss right away. Not manually, just have your stop loss right there. And keep trying. It's like you're inserting, like you're putting a coin, a quarter. You know those like arcade machines? You used to put a quarter in, and with every quarter, there will be like this. You will lose like a shit ton of quarters, but then you will win big, and you will hit the jackpot. And more often than not, that will be the case. And you will look at your net loss and net gains, and you will say, "Wow, that was worth it." That kind of like in and out thingy over there with tight stops and basically tight risk management over there. That was very well worth it. And it's better than holding your position, hoping that it will come back and you will break even or something. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Okay. All right, see you next time, guys. Thank you.